Hey, it's Adrian, and today I'm doing a quick review, setup, and installation of the brand new Blink Outdoor 4 Floodlight camera, and this one is completely wire-free and outputs up to 700 lumens of brightness. So I bought the full version, which includes the Blink Outdoor 4 camera and the floodlight mount accessory. But if you already have the Blink Outdoor 4, just go ahead and get the mount accessory. Now, I'm not going to review the Blink Outdoor 4 camera. I've already made a detailed review. I'll link it up here and in the video description below if you're interested. But let's take a closer look at what comes in the box, the setup process, and exactly how much illumination we can add to our nighttime video and just illuminating the exterior of our houses. In the box, we get the floodlight camera mount, we have the Blink Outdoor 4 camera, an opening tool for the rear to insert the 2 supply batteries. You also have a mounting bracket here, along with mounting screws, the sync module 2 unit, a power cable and power brick to power it, and a manual. So the floodlight camera mount is a pretty sizable mount, and it comes in at around 2.2 pounds, so a little bit heavy too. We have those 2 floodlight panels, and these are adjustable up or down and horizontally as well, so you can get pretty much any type of angulation that you want. And then we have this mount here, which is where the Blink Outdoor 4 camera is just gonna snap in. And again, this is rotatable and adjustable, just held by friction. And there's also a USB Type-C cable, which is gonna connect to this little port right here. Looking at the back of the mount, you could see that we have this plastic bracket, and there's a little tab here that you could lift up, and once you do that, you can slide this mount right out of place, and you can see there's an up arrow to show you how to align it. And this is pretty much what's keeping it, from slipping out. You'll hear that click right there, and then you could slide it out. Now, this is probably going to be how I mount it. So there's 3 screw holes, 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to put this into my wall and then slide it in. If you're not a fan of drilling and you have some kind of siding, you can actually use this tool here. So you can see there's 2 cutouts here. If I line it up right there, it kind of clicks into place. And then this little curve here, you would just hook it onto something, and then basically you could see it's holding the whole unit and it's kind of bending backwards. So that's, how you kind of secure it. I don't like this method. It seems, very unstable, especially if it's windy. So I'm probably just gonna go with the screw method. If we do a top view of the unit, you can see that right now it's locked, and to unlock it, I'm just gonna rotate this entire panel here. That pops off and it reveals, the covering for the 4 D-cell batteries. So I'm just gonna pull these 2 clips inwards here, pop the protective cover off, and we have those 4 D-cell batteries. And of course there's this protective layer here. You just remove that. Let's close everything back up. Next, let's take a look at the Blink Outdoor 4 camera. So if you don't already have one of these, the first thing you're going to do is use this kind of open tool here and just rotate it at the top here. And then you just pop the top off. Once you do that, insert the 2 supply batteries. Make sure you orient them correctly. The next step is to add the sync module. So let's do that now. The first step is going to be to download the Blink app to your phone. Now, once you have that, you're also going to need a USB drive for the sync module too. And I'll leave some links down below if you don't already have one, but basically you can insert anything from 1 GB to 256 GB. So once we're in the Blink app, we're going to click plus, and we're going to pick to add the sync module. This must be added first, guys. So it says to go ahead and scan the QR code. Now there is a QR code at the back here, and I'm just going to use my phone to scan that code, which was successful. And go ahead and create a new system or add it to your existing. I'm just going to create a new system right now, and I'm just going to call it 2023. Click continue, and it says look for a blinking blue light, which we see right there. So I'm going to say discover device. And I'm going to click on connect. Now, this is very important, guys. Make sure you're connected to a Wi-Fi network that's running on a 2.4 gigahertz band. And if you're not sure what yours is and you only see one option, most likely you will have to contact your ISP to have them split those bands for you. Now, I'm going to enter my Wi-Fi password. All right, so the sync module has been added to our system. I'm going to click done. And the next step that you should do is just to pop in your USB drive just to get that part out of the way. And once you do that, we'll click into the sync module here, and we'll go to local storage, and we could see that our USB drive is connected and there's about 70% storage left. Now, if it prompts you to format yours, go ahead and do that. I've previously used this with my sync module, that's why it's not asking me. The sync module is now added to the Blink app. Next, we're going to install the Blink Outdoor 4 camera. So let's click on plus here. We're going to pick the Outdoor 4 Floodlight camera. And we've already gone through the battery compartment and removing that protective filter. And the Blink Outdoor 4 is not already added to the account, so let's add it to our account right now. And we're going to scan the QR code right now, like so. I'm going to add it to that home network I just created, and we're just going to wait for the system to find the camera. If yours mentions that it needs to update the firmware, let it go ahead and do that. Okay, so the camera was added successfully. Let's click on done. So next I'm just going to close everything up. Once you have the rear of the Outdoor 4 camera nicely sealed up, go ahead and remove this weather sealed little covering here, giving access to the USB-C port. Now what we're going to do is just move this mount completely up and vertical, because we're going to snap this portion right into here, and it does take a bit of doing. Make sure that the lens is facing upwards like this, and go ahead and try to snap that in. It does take a bit of doing, guys. Okay, so when you hear that audible click, it's in there for good. The last step is to just angle this off to the side, and we're going to use the USB-C cable here to slot it in. Now, pay attention to the way the wire bends. Have it bend upwards like this. Slide in that USB-C slot, and you can see now when you view it from the front, the wire is hidden out of the way. Now we could go ahead and click on Complete Setup, and there is a free trial that you can activate for 30 days, and I'm just gonna click Done on that. Now it says Floodlight connected to your camera. So everything is ready and good to go. I always like to go ahead and start the video live view. So let's do that. Make sure everything is responsive. I'll put my hand over here. So there we go. So everything is working now. Before I permanently mount this, let's just take a quick look at the options. I'm not going to really touch on the Blink Outdoor 4 since I did review that already, but let's go into the new option here, Floodlight Settings. And you can see you can change the light brightness. So I'll crank it to the max. It does mention it's going to impact battery life. It's going to be motion activated, and the timeout after motion activation is either 15 seconds up to 5 minutes. I'll just leave it on the default for now. And then you can adjust the daylight sensitivity. I'll just leave it where it is right now. Now that everything is working perfectly, I'm going to go ahead and install it and share my final thoughts. To install, decide if you're going to use that metal sliding bracket for your siding, or if you're going to drill into a wall or some kind of wood paneling, which is what I did. So I just attached the bracket and then just slid the camera in. It's a super straightforward installation. So the light output on here is actually really good for just being 700 lumens. And I'm glad that they went with, a 5000 Kelvin color temperature versus something warmer. I just preferred that way. And it seems to just, make everything look a little bit more clearer, less shadowy areas when it's a warmer color temperature. And you can see in these video clips here, it easily illuminated the wall that it was mounted on and the lawn in front of it. Now, I didn't really adjust the light panels downwards towards the ground, even though you can adjust them, up, down, and sideways. I just left them kind of in a straight on orientation just to see what the light spread was like, and I was really happy with the result. So I would say, for most people's entryways or driveways, this is going to be perfectly capable. Of course, you can also adjust the light output. So on most of the clips, I had it at 100%, but here are some examples with it. Basically at 1%, around 50 to 60%, and then finally at max output. Here's what it looks like with just, the regular black and white video that comes standard, and then with the floodlight activated at maximum brightness. So if you need to add a floodlight for just color night vision, or if you just want a little bit more peace of mind and you just want to illuminate, entryways, backyards, driveways, this is an excellent add-on if you already own the Blink Outdoor 4 camera. I'll also leave some links down below in the description if you're interested in picking up the mount accessory separately or as a kit like I have here. Also, if you're new to the Blink system, every time you set it up, it's going to offer you a free trial, and then you can decide, do you want to continue paying for that, or do you want to use the system locally with a sync module 2 and a USB drive? And I'm going to leave a link again up here and in the description to a video that explains all of that. Please consider checking out some of my other reviews on other security camera brands. There's a lot of options out there, guys. Blink is obviously one of the most popular ones, but in my opinion, it is nowhere near the best. So do check out some of those other ones and let me know if you have any questions or if you'd like any recommendations. And if you found this video helpful, please consider liking and subscribing. It really does help me out a ton, guys, and I do appreciate the support, but I'll see you in the next one soon.